This is part 2 of success markers at the front desk, because we all know how important this role is in helping you grow your practice. And if you stick around to the end, we've got a great guide for you that is the front desk checklist, that if your front desk team member does this on a regular basis, you can't help but grow the practice of your dreams. Our first KPI that we're going to look at, our key performance indicator at the front desk that most practices are not looking at on a regular basis, and that is our future production. Let me break down exactly what that production is so that your front desk team member has a very clear understanding of how this actually impacts their downstream system, which is the treatment system. Now, we look at production as the value of services that you offer in your practice. We use this phrase of adjusted production because as healthcare providers, we contract with insurances or other carriers that discount our rates as some benefit to us, which I'm still waiting to find out what that benefit is. But that adjusted production is the actual true value that we should be receiving in payment. In reality, we should be collecting 100% of our adjusted production. And if the insurance fee schedules are put into your system, then we'll actually calculate that right in BlueIQ, which is really nice because then we have a real number of what we should be chasing in our collections. So at the front desk, you're thinking about this adjusted production, this value that we're delivering on a regular basis. You see, a practice can't be healthy unless it's generating cash flow, and cash flow comes from the services that we provide. Most practices think of the number of visits. We have booked these number of visits on a schedule. And I want you to think a little bit differently about this because each visit, there's just different values for specific services within the practice. There's different value for a patient and different phases of care within the practice. So I don't want you to necessarily think about a goal for visits as much as I want you to think about a goal for adjusted production. So we now take that number, that adjusted production, and the next KPI we look at is the average adjusted production per visit. When we begin understanding the value of a visit and these different visits that we can go after within the practice, we can start looking at our patients. Which patients are the most valuable to get back on the schedule? You only have a certain amount of time in the day. You only have a certain number of patient slots. So we really want to look at opportunities to attract patients that are going to have a higher adjusted production per visit. And by looking at that calculation, you can identify patients in a certain phase of care that might be bundling services with physical therapy or with nutrition or with medical services that you provide within your practice. We begin very quickly filling the schedule with the highest average production per visit in the practice. And when you get amazing at the front desk team member, making sure those patients are on track, we see that production drive and grow within your schedule. The third metric that we look at isn't necessarily a key performance indicator, but it is a lead metric to the growth of your adjusted production schedule. And this is what we call your canceled appointment return rate. As we all know, we do our best to tell patients the importance of the visits and send them appointment reminders and communicate with them about their next appointment. But life happens, and I'm a dad, and I know what it's like to have family emergencies and different things that come up. So patients from time to time are going to have to cancel an appointment. And what's really important is that we have a system in place to measure how are we doing at the front desk in getting those patients to return, to get back on the schedule. Now, the easiest way is to make sure that a patient is booked out from re-exam to re-exam throughout their phases of care to make sure that they actually have a preset time that is a missed appointment makeup time. And that way your front desk team member can easily communicate with them and just get them moved right over to that missed appointment time. But if a patient isn't, we need a way that automates those follow-ups. And again, BlueIQ has the tools for you to help you do that and measure the success of your front desk team member using those tools in that new patient return rate. It is such a powerful metric and helping you drive the front desk KPIs, which, if you remember, is total appointments and kept appointment rate. Those are the metrics that, as we now combine those with this video and understanding your future production, your average production per visit, and now your reappointment rate of these canceled appointments, you now have a front desk that is mastering their skills at helping you grow the practice of your dreams. Now, if you love this video and love this content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And that way you get notified of great content that comes out every week to help you continue to train your team and master running your practice by the numbers. Now, you can also click the link below for our front desk checklist. Don't miss that, because this is a great way to make sure that your team member is continuing to master the skills of the front desk.